I will request the chairperson of this conference series, Sustainability Conference Series, Ms. Radhika Kalia ma'am, Managing Director, RLG India, one of the leading waste management consulting organizations, or environment consulting facilitator actually, to kindly come on stage to welcome our dignitaries. And I request everyone to kindly give a big round of applause for our speakers. And also especially to Radhika ma'am, because Radhika ma'am, this is Radhika ma'am's brainchild and vision that we want to do a series of programs, not only to educate, but also to build this platform for a lot of discussion to find the implementable solutions. With this, may I also request Professor N.K. Goyal, President and Chairman Emeritus, the CMAI and TEMA, two of the leading telecom and cellular operators. Sir is a very known-face and figure in this industry, and he has been one of the most important change agents of India in terms of the regulatory reforms, scientific advancements and all. With him, I will also request another very prominent face in the solar sector, Dr. Prafulla Pathak sir, who is the President of Solar Energy Society of India, SESI. Sir has been also a big round of applause, please, for Prafulla Pathak sir. With him now, I will invite our chief guest, Dr. Sandip Chatterjee sir. A big round of applause for our chief guest. Despite or in spite of his busy schedule, sir has actually taken out some time for us. He has to go very quickly because he has rounds of meetings as the new government, new leadership is settling. Sir is the Scientist G and Senior Director, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. COP26 में हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी जब अपना एड्रेस दिया, वहाँ पे उन्होंने एक पंचामृत एक मिशन वहाँ पे रखे थे, और उनमें नेट जीरो मिशन वाज वन ऑफ द 5 कोर ऑब्जेक्टिव्स दैट हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भारत के लिए सेट किया था, हमारे देश के लिए सेट किया था, जो हमारा भी गोल है. और नेट जीरो मिशन अगर हम देखें, 95% जो एमिशन होते हैं वो 5 सेक्टरों से होते हैं. एनर्जी से लेके, ग्रीन बिल्डिंग से लेके, बिल्डिंग्स से लेके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, और ऐसे 5 सेक्टर्स. ट्रांसपोर्ट, मोबिलिटी भी एक है. और एक मिशन था कि किस तरह से विकसित भारत, जो उन्होंने 2045, 2 बड़ा मिशन हमने एक साथ क्लब किया. एक तो विकसित भारत 1947 और नेट जीरो मिशन बाय 2070. और इसको अचीव करने के लिए हमारे सारे EPR स्ट्रेटजीज, फिर रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, क्योंकि जो हमने 500 गीगावाट का एक मिशन हमने लिया, ये सारे पॉलिसीज, सारे मिशंस एक दूसरे को कॉम्प्लीमेंट करती है. और एक ऑब्जेक्टिव को अचीव करके हम ओवरऑल पूरा नेट जीरो मिशन या ओवरऑल जो पंचामृत जो मिशन है वो अचीव नहीं कर सकते. यानी तो वी नीड ऑल स्टेक होल्डर्स टू कम टुगेदर. और इसीलिए हमने सोचा N.K. गोयल सर को, क्योंकि टेलीकॉम और वो एक बहुत बड़ा सेक्टर है, और सोलर एक बहुत बड़ा सेक्टर है जहाँ रिवोल्यूशन आ गया है. इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल सेक्टर से भी हम लाए थे सर. somehow he has to travel, but that is EV is another revolution. Now to set this background, I will request our official chairperson of this conference and also of the series of the programs that we are organizing, Ms. Radhika Kalia, to give the theme address.
Working in durables, and especially in the last 15-20 years, we've been very closely associated, Sandip sir, N.K. Goyal sir. I would rather call it a romance with electronic waste management that we've been working on. And it's very close to our heart, and we are very, passionate about electronic waste, because right from 2008 onwards, when the policy was getting framed, to 2012, when the policy was made and there were only 20 to 25 recyclers in the country, with no targets for the producers, only 256 producers being authorized in CPCB, from there to the journey that we have had in the last 7 years. So welcome everyone, and good morning esteemed guests, distinguished speakers and valued colleagues. It is my great pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to you all for today's event. And we are honored to have with us some of the most distinguished members of the industry. And that's why I called, they have really contributed in making the rules in what shape they are today, and in having implemented in the country in the last 10, 12 years. I would give my full credit to Mr. Shri Sandip Chatterjee, Scientist and Senior Director, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, who has very fondly and very passionately having worked with, not only with us, but I remember in 2014, when it was the 25th anniversary of NASCOM Foundation, and our revered Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, he announced that he would give certain kitty of money to MeitY for doing awareness programs for electronic waste. And since then, we've been driving that force, and Mr. Sandip Chatterjee was the harbinger of awareness among electronic industries. So we have a website named greenie.govt.in, and he invited all the associations, whether it is CMAI, MATE, PSG, NASCOM Foundation, all the people who are working into hardware associations to do a lot of activities on awareness building, and all these associations contributed a lot. And till date, you can log on to greenie.govt.in and see what different stakeholders have contributed in the last 6-7 years. It's a very big achievement, I would say, though it's not written down anywhere, or people don't applaud it, but it's an effort which has really gone into in the electronic waste industry. Then, of course, the plastic and the rest of the industry and packaging and waste management, or tire, oil, and battery came up. But the basic foundation was how to EPR framework has to work was set forth by electronic waste, and full kudos to Dr. Sandip Chatterjee for doing that. Thank you so much for your contribution, sir. We have Shri Rajesh Kumar Pathak, Secretary Technology Development Board, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and Professor N.K. Goyal, President and Chairman Emeritus, CMAI and TEMA. Of course, TEMA has also contributed a lot on technical regulations in the telecom sector. I think so we go back almost 15 years, Goyal Sahab. Thank you so much for all your guidance to the sector. And well, for me, sustainability is a very close to heart concept. It is life after death, like God created our bodies, but the soul never dies. So that is what sustainability to me is. And it's imperative that all professionals, all individuals, all netizens should have that kind of feeling. Because ultimately, when we take birth, we are obligated to give back to what the Creator has given us. And if we come with that kind of mindset of giving back to the Creator, I think so then only sustainability can exist. Else we are just, passing our time, doing whatever daily activities we are doing. So each individual, needs to stand up. It's like, it's not by charity, but it's an obligation that you have to give back to the Creator. How do we save for planet Earth? So I've just written down few pointers here. I'll just read those. So for me, sustainability is not the elusive pursuit, and we cannot afford to miss. In the corporate world, we have become enamored with buzzwords like product stewardship, diversity and inclusion, and corporate governance. While these concepts are undoubtedly important, we have lost sight of fundamental principle that should underpin all our efforts, that is sustainability. Sustainability isn't just a trendy catchphrase, it's a vital consideration that impacts every aspect of our operations, from supply chain management to customer relationships and beyond. Yet despite the lip service paid to this concept, true sustainability remains an elusive pursuit for many organizations. The harsh reality is that our current practices are unstable. We are depleting natural resources at an alarming rate, contributing to environmental degradation and perpetuating social inequalities. Like everybody has been quoting numbers and percentages, I should also like to do that. The world population currently uses 580 million terajoules of energy every year. Despite advances in clean and renewable energy sources, 83% of global energy still comes from fossil fuels. More than 2.4 trillion tons of carbon dioxide have been released into the Earth's atmosphere over the last 2 centuries due to human activity. Carbon dioxide accounts for around 2/3 of the total effects of climate change. The Earth's average temperature has increased by at least 1.1 degrees Celsius since 1880. We all read that and we are, nothing affects us. We will say, oh, garmi ho gayi. Bahut zyada garmi ho rahi hai. Every year, 18 million hectares of forest are destroyed. 1 million species of plants and animals are currently at risk of extinction, with many well-known species potentially extinct by 2050. We have disrupted the food chain so royally that we do not know how mankind will actually look after 20 years from now. The world dumps 2.12 billion tons of waste each year, yet only 16% of the world's waste is recycled. The path to true sustainability is not an easy one, but it's a journey we must undertake with unwavering commitment. It will require collaboration, innovation, and willingness to challenge the status quo. But the rewards, a thriving planet, resilient communities, and a sustainable future for generations to come make the effort worthwhile. Let's move beyond the jargon and embrace sustainability as the guiding principle it deserves to be. Our future depends on it. While I stand before you as a proud employee of Free Economy, a pioneering force in sustainable solutions, we are backed by EMK Capital. Re-Economy is an international circular economy specialist that combines technology, skills, and people-powered approach to build sustainability loops that create circular opportunities for the businesses. With over 4,000 plus colleagues, 7,200 plus customers, and a presence in 80 plus countries, Re-Economy Group boasts around £2 billion in revenue. RLG is typically headquartered in Munich, Germany, operates under Re-Economy's Group Comply vertical with 42 producer responsibility organizations covering e-waste, battery waste, plastic packaging, tire and textile recycling management services. Textile has become a rule in Italy, France, Amsterdam also has that, and soon UK would adopt it in 2025, and they have extended to 2027 right now, what I hear lately. And noteworthy achievements in including recycling, we've done 250 million coffee cups since 2019, managing 300,000 plus metric ton of e-waste globally and collecting about 275,000 metric tons of batteries since 2020. As a business focused on a circular future, our sustainability strategy continually drives us forward. At RLG India, our endeavor is to create sustainable supply chain by using our operational excellence. And at the heart of the summit, which lies environmental, social, and governance ESG strategy, a holistic approach that recognizes the interconnectedness of our planet, society, and economic systems. Through insightful discussions from relevant stakeholders, we will uncover the best practices and innovative solutions that are paving the way for a more sustainable future. Of course, Mission Net Zero for Indian Corporation will take center stage, highlighting the nation's commitment to achieving carbon neutrality and mitigating the impacts of climate change. Circularity to sustainability, policy and implementation will explore the intricate web of policies and practical implementations that are driving the transition towards a circular economy where waste is minimized and resources are optimized. Green innovation technologies will showcase the cutting-edge advancements that are revolutionizing the industries, from renewable energy solutions to sustainable manufacturing processes. Strategies and financing ideas to actions will provide a roadmap for translating ambitious sustainability goals into tangible, actionable plans, supported by innovative financing mechanism. Lastly, India's extended producer responsibility, a journey will shed light on the nation's efforts to promote responsible waste management and foster a culture of environmental stewardship, ensuring that the products we consume today do not become the environment burdens of tomorrow. And the Sustainability Summit 2024 is more than just a gathering of experts and thought leaders. It is a clarion call and for collective action, a rallying cry for business, governments, and individuals to embrace sustainability as a guiding principle for a better, more resilient future. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prof.
For the wonderful remarks. So far, this is one of the best, thought-provoking vision that you have set, and I have noted a lot of points, ma'am, that you have spoken. I think we will set our agenda, future agenda, based on this. Ma'am is actually equally passionate. We together belong to the same industry before. Now ma'am is saying, okay, let me leave everything and come back to the advocacy part. Her passion is, but I am with you, ma'am. We will together meet your passion and fulfill it. With this, may I now invite our chief guest of the summit today, Dr. Sandip Chatterjee. He needs no introduction. He's the Senior Director, Scientist G, and Senior Director at Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology at Government of India. He is a leading global policymaker and experienced techno administrator with over 25 years of experience in translating research outcomes into commercial viability and disruptive policymaking, which is very, very crucial at today's time. Whichever nation has been successful in translating their innovation into commercial viability or made them commercially viable, they have been immensely successful. There were many inventors and innovators, but very few could commercialize them. And they become real true leaders. And Sir has been one of the important phase of that. Now, Sir is a visionary leader who had consistently delivered on strategic innovation, international policy negotiations, and advocacy. He is also a global expert on electronic waste, circular economy, resource efficiency, with over 50 plus research and review publications, and an extensive public speaking experience of over 700 engagements. I will request Sir to kindly deliver your inaugural address. With a big round of applause, please.
Thank you, Akram. I'm really grateful to RLG and Policy Times Chamber of Commerce for giving this opportunity to speak in front of very enlightened participants. They are conscious about sustainability, circular economy. As Ms. Radhika told, my work from 2014 and till date. Actually, if you see the Indian transformation of the economy, which is phenomenal for last 1 decade or 2 decades, you can say, where if you are aspiring for a $10 trillion economy by 2030, 25% will be the digital economy. And the foundation started way back when we have started, taking biometric, data of the citizen. So we have already taken is a active 1.3 billion Aadhaar enrollment. If you see our digital public infrastructure, it is growing. Started from Aadhaar, UPI, DigiLocker, CoWIN is one of the important success for the country. We have given 2 to 3 vaccine, entire population. It's not a joke. Without digital infrastructure, it was not possible. If you see the last 2-3 years, we are again going to the another transformation embracing artificial intelligence. So whatever you are seeing as a digital service, it will now going to transform through AI. We have a very big program of national artificial intelligence. So this AI requires a LLM coding require a very big data set. So you require a storage device. You require to upgrade different cloud computing cloud space. All those things I'm saying you require a very high-end electronic device to perform this. If you see the AI business, AI-driven digital business in our country, 2025 it will cross 500 billion US dollar. And by 2027, it is saying it will cross 935 billion US dollar. Entire global south, you must have seen through our G5 meet or G20 meet. Entire global south is waiting for our solution. And if you can create a solution in India, and the business which is affordable in India, entire globe it will be very attractive business. So this transformation requires a lot of innovation, a lot of startup promotion. So now I'm coming to the topic. If you're really transforming this is our aspiration. So electronic use nobody can stop. Every G you are replacing 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, 6G, you are shredded of all the electronics you are using. What best we can do? Our mindset you have to change. We cannot still work with the linear economic fashion, extract, produce, use and throw. Of course, nobody should, teach us that lesson, because we are conventionally Indians are generally reuse the same item. But from 1990, the consumerism has changed our pattern. So we can rejig that. So we can use what is not needed, we should not. So we are changing very fast of our smartphone. If it is needed, of course we do. And if it is, you can change, if it is not required, we should use the same thing. Or another thing we should see, if you are not using, what should be the second use or third use of things. So entire circular economy, in 2021 during the COVID, Government of India, Ministry of Electronics and IT come out with a circular economy action plan, where that piece of policy paper Niti Aayog told METI to come out. So that time Radhika was also there, GIZ, all Hey Manjuri was also there. So they have come out with a certain action plan where some of the action plan we have started working, like with that preset of this action plan, the third version of the rule came up, but I do not know how it is being implemented, because some credit system they have introduced. Because it is good that you are giving a target of recycling, but we should know how we are having that. What is the technology? We should see the technology should be upgraded. If you are monitoring the 4 metal, we should know those metals are coming from the same plant or extracted from a sustainable method or not. So with the third version of the rule, I have found lot of more work is required to be done. It is not in order. Another very big issue we are trying to push, and I don't know, it is a unfinished work of mine. If you are really interested to do the refurbished in a big way, so you require to have a right to repair act in our country. Like USA has done it, most of the state. European Union also started it. Because if you are using charger for a different charger for different smartphone, what is the need? Can you have a common charger? Then also 20 to 25% of electronic waste you can shred off. Again, I am coming to the Honorable Prime Minister vision of Viksit Bharat, where you require materials. Entire thing, one is environment, maybe another ministry looking at it. My concern is material from our ministry. Our aspiration is semiconductor, plant. We do not have good quality copper even. Very recently, Ministry of Mines has come out with a 30 critical raw material. And I am amazed to see copper is one of the critical raw material in our country. There are lithium, there are cobalt, there are platinum group metals, there are rare earth. I think you all know, if the smartphone is giving a functionality to us, 69 element of the periodic table is being used. Many of the elements are not available in our country. So if you are having a rule without having an infrastructure, without having a skill set manpower, without having a recycling technology, but you are aspiring to have credit certificate transfer, so you are get rid of, you are purchasing a credit certificate, then it is all the responsibility going to the recyclers. It's a good thing, but if the recyclers are actually recycler, then you do not have any mechanism to audit them. There are international audit, things are placed. You are not interested to ensure that audit company to work in the country. Because if those auditors are auditing some of the recyclers and the manufacturer is saying this is the audited one, I should believe on it. That is also an easy way to do it. But if you are really interested to do, everything should be done by CPCB, SPCB. So I am saying people are interested to be sustainable or promoting circular economy. There is nothing around us to actually trigger that interest. So I think this has not started whatever Ms. Radhika told in 2014 I have started. I have started a unfinished battle, still it is going on. It may take another 30 years to have entire recycling system clean up, and where the recycled material, because if you are recycling also, you have to see what is the quality of the material, then only you can end up using in the fresh manufacturing. If you are recycling lithium, if you are recycling cobalt, if you are recycling nickel, there is no component manufacturer in our country. Where will you sell it? Again, you will sell it to the China and Taiwan. Entire ecosystem of electronic manufacturing required to be here. Then really you can say about the circular economy. So here in front of you, I am not giving a very rosy picture. I am saying what are the unfinished work somebody should do. But there, if you can do in a industrial scale, it is a very successful and profitable business. And if there is no material leakage from inside. If I can give, very recently I have given one note to the GST Secretariat. But unofficially also I am doing a lot of this type of things because I have a different passion. I have calculated 4.17 million metric ton 2022 we have already generated by international. I am not going to the CPCB figure. 4.17 million metric ton, okay? So assorted electronic waste, we have 3% PCB, okay? Just calculate 3%. After that, any PCB assorted, 30% is the copper. You have epoxy and copper. You see what is the kg. Copper price is 840. It may be 900. I am taking 840. So this is the worth of copper in the waste stream. Entirely 95% as per the GIZ and made report, 95% is going to the informal sectors. I am assuming 50%. Okay. Then if the 50% informal is taking, so he is not giving 18% GST to the country. And if he is extracting, efficiency 30%, 70% my material is getting lost. I am not considering that. 30% you are extracting. The amount you are extracting to sell in a formal industry also. So they are also 3% GST you are not giving. Okay. Now if you are calculating entire things, we are taking some conservative figure. What is the figure? Can you imagine what is the figure I have given to the GST Secretariat? 15,000 crore for copper only. 15,000 crore. Last month I have submitted. I was awaiting for a meeting. So that another calculation I will be showing, entire waste stream handled by informal sectors, e-waste, plastic waste, end of life vehicle, and solar waste. Calculation is coming to this is my hobby actually, keep on doing it. 78,000 crores, 80 crores from COVID onward, we are giving a free food. Okay? 160 crore Indian can also have a free food. So why I am showing this number? I am showing the profitability of sustainable industry. If we cannot do, open the market for international players to operate. They will be doing a better work. We will be generating, employment in our country. We will be started making machine we can develop here. Okay? Then we can sell it to the global south. We will be generating more, employment, more, fabricator in our country. So this will be more, cost effective. So again, I am saying, in front of you, I am interested to show some of the possibility, business possibility around sustainability. But there are a lot of struggle. You have to convince the different ministry, because it was better if the electronics generator of the ministry and the disposal should be in the same ministry. But we are generating, another ministry is taking care of the waste. Generally, they have an environmentalist. You require electronic engineers also to understand the materials, because what are the different materials? Environment can take care of the hazardous material. I require entire material thing, because I am interested to initiate the electronic manufacturing. And nobody can stop that, it will going to come. Initially, they will purchase material from outside. We are losing our foreign currency. Then I am taking another 30 years, 3 decades, will we start producing things in our country. So that is my wish list. I hope that I can convey my message, what is the importance of this thing. So thank you very much.
To give the keynote address, Professor N.K. Goyal, President, Chairperson Emeritus, CMAI and TEMA, to give your remarks, sir.
मेरे ख्याल से संदीप जी के बोलने के बाद कुछ बचता नहीं है कहने के लिए, क्योंकि संदीप जी वेटरन है और कई सालों से इस फील्ड में है. फिर भी क्योंकि बोला गया है तो कुछ तो बोलना ही पड़ेगा, मजबूरी है. तो 3 बेसिकली पॉइंट्स मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ. एक कम्प्लीमेंट्स, एक एग्जिस्टिंग स्टेटस, एक चेंज कंज्यूमर पैटर्न. सबसे पहले तो मेरा कम्प्लीमेंट राधिका अक्रम को फॉर दिस इवेंट इन सच ए नाइस वे. कम्प्लीमेंट्स आप संदीप जी को लाए, वो एक बड़ी बात है. कम्प्लीमेंट्स टू द आवर गवर्नमेंट फॉर द मिशन जीरो. और राधिका जी का एक वर्ड बहुत दिमाग को छू गया, रोमांस विद इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेस्ट. राधिका जी है नहीं यहाँ आज हमारे पास. डाइस पे तो कुछ बैठे हुए हैं वीआईपी, उससे कहीं ज़्यादा आप लोग हैं. आई एम एबल टू सी मंजरी गोपालन जी, जिनके साथ हम बहुत सालों से इन्वॉल्व रहे हैं. राकेश अग्रवाल जी हैं, आलोक वासनी और बहुत लोग हैं. तो आप सबका देख के अच्छा लग रहा है, फीलिंग गुड. पॉइंट नंबर 2 आता है क्या कर रहे हैं. बहुत कुछ कर रहे हैं जो आप लोगों ने सुना, आप सब जानते हैं. हम ये भी जानते हैं कि हम ट्रांसपोर्ट में क्या कर रहे हैं, ई व्हीकल्स आ रहे हैं. हम ये भी जानते हैं कि हम एनर्जी में क्या कर रहे हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेस्ट में क्या कर रहे हैं. और ये सही है कि सारा वर्ल्ड इंडिया की तरफ देखता है. आई एम सॉरी, मैं हिंदी में बोलने की आदत डालती है और ये हमने मोदी जी से ही सीखी है. और ये हमने मोदी जी से ही सीखी है. वैसे एज एसोसिएशन हम 74 कंट्री में जाते हैं, 48,000 मेंबर्स हैं. बहुत थोड़ा मोटा चलता रहता है. बट अमेरिका में भी हिंदी में बोलते हैं. इट इज़ फॉर देम टू अंडरस्टैंड, दे शुड लर्न. तो बहुत कुछ सरकार कर रही है, बहुत कुछ हो रहा है, वो सब बातें आप सुनते रहते हैं. ज़्यादा फोकस ये रहता है कि गवर्नमेंट को ये करना चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए. मैं आउट ऑफ बॉक्स 3rd पार्ट में जा रहा हूँ, जो लकीली संदीप जी ने टच किया था, चेंज कंज्यूमर पैटर्न. यह मैं 2 बातें करता हूँ वर्ल्ड में. मंजरी भी आज मेरे को पहली बार सुन रही होगी इन चीज़ों के लिए. पहले तो मैं बोलता हूँ टेक्नोलॉजी पे. टेक्नोलॉजी जिस हिसाब से बन रही है, somebody sitting somewhere in a country in a AC room will think of some technology called AI, called ChatGPT, called 6G, called 5G, etc. etc. उसकी इतनी हाइप कर देते हैं कि पूरा वर्ल्ड उसको अडॉप्ट करना शुरू कर देता है. एंड वंस दे अडॉप्ट, then they try to see how to use this, what use of this is for us. Now take the case of 5G for example. India is known in the world as the fastest rollout country for 5G. We are proud of that. But having done the fastest rollout, now Airtel, Jio says there is no use case, nobody is using, nobody wants to pay anything extra. Not only India, throughout the world there is no use case of 5G as of now in use. So the question is, why do we have developed 5G? Under the gamut of 5G, all our smartphones are being changed now for 5G. And while we are still debating about 5G, now world is talking of 6G. Surprising, everywhere in the world we go, they talk of 6G, 6G, 6G. And India has been a leader in 6G now, because our Honorable Prime Minister launched 6G around a year back. But the fact of the life is, the standards for 6G are supposed to be ready by 2030 and product by 2035. But now when I go to because we deal with around 100,000 colleges, schools in India, when I go to school, colleges, sir, हमको 6G का phone चाहिए. This is the thing. Again, we will go for generation of electronic waste and other things. Now, the basic point जो message आज मैं देना चाह रहा हूँ, आप छोड़ दो सरकार क्या करती है, हम क्या कर रहे हैं अपने घरों में, अपने दफ्तरों में. हमारी जैसे जैसे हम नेचर से आगे चलते चले गए, हम नेचर के खिलाफ चलते चले गए. रहते थे पहले अच्छे कच्चे मकानों में, वी मेड द वंडरफुल मकान्स, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom, एसी बनाया. आज एसी से आग लग रही है दिल्ली में, सबको पता है. वाई? हम लोगों के जो डेली रूटीन की हैबिट्स हैं, नहाने की, धोने की, टॉयलेट जाने की, कितना पानी वेस्ट करते हैं. शावर में हम कितना पानी वेस्ट करते हैं. यू नो ऑल द स्टोरीज. हम लोग पहले चाय पीते थे तो एक केतली में दूध आता था, वो दूध डाल के केतली दोबारा काम आ जाती थी. अब हम पैकेट्स में करते हैं. एंड इट्स सो पेनफुल व्हेन वी गो टू यूएस एंड यूके एक्सेट्रा. आफ्टर ब्रेकफास्ट और 2 people वी जनरेट सो मच ऑफ द वेस्ट. इतना बड़ा बॉक्स रखा होता है. वाई वी आर डूइंग ऑल दिस? हम इसको बदल नहीं सकते? बदल सकते हैं. आई एम हैप्पी राधिका कि आपने बहुत कुछ किया इस इवेंट में टू कीप इन व्यू दिस थिंग. बट एक सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, इस धागे की क्या जरूरत है? वाई दिस इज नीडेड? व्हाट फॉर? हमें यहाँ से चलना चाहिए. और अब मेरा जो मैसेज है, ये कॉन्फ्रेंस बहुत ज़रूरी होती है. संदीप जी चले गए. हमें और आपको मिलके इसको एक मास मूवमेंट में बदलना है. जो आज के यूथ, आज 6 महीने का बच्चा फ़ोन यूज़ करना जानता है, 6 महीने का बच्चा. लेकिन 60 साल का आदमी भी ये नहीं जानता कि इन्वायरमेंट को कैसे फ्रेंडली रखना है, किस तरह से वेस्ट कम जनरेट करना है. यहाँ बिस्लरी के साहब बैठे हैं, आपने पूरा वर्ल्ड बदल दिया. वंडरफुल थिंग, इट्स ए वंडरफुल थिंग. लेकिन क्या ज़रूरी है कि हम पीने के पानी को बोतलों में बंद करके रखें? थैंकफुली आजकल ये गिलास चल पड़े हैं. तो हमें उस बोतल को क्या करना है, उसका हम बारे में बातें नहीं करना चाहते. चाहे जूस हो, चाहे कुछ भी हो, मतलब हर चीज़ को हमें इस चीज़ को अपने घरों में लाना है, अपने समाज में लाना है, और यंगर जनरेशन को इस बारे में अवेयर करना है. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
I will invite another veteran speaker on this sector, Dr. Prafulla Pathak sir, President Solar Energy Society of India.
Thank you, Dr. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really thankful to RLG Economy and Policy Times to hold this conference and invite me to have some interaction with you. I'm saying interaction because as our previous speaker says, many of you are there who are stalwarts or who are doing wonderful things, even those who have the awards. Really, you are doing great work. But the only thing is you are sitting on that side and we are sitting on this side. So in that, I say it's an interaction. I'm not going to deliver anything. I am going to interact with you. The topic of today is net zero. And now the Google and everything is available, so you must have done that. But if you have not done, what is net zero? So the thing is, in last couple of years, we are developing. We are a developing country, and whatever the developments we are achieving, in this development, what we are generating is gases, emission of gases, particularly CO2, and the scientists and researchers says that this emission will cause harm to the global planet. In fact, the better part is the developed countries are doing more damage and we are on a lesser side. But as India, we are a country which is looking for a developed stage. So definitely the things which we are doing are really a concern. And on that background, the world has decided that they will reduce this emission and will achieve a situation which is a net zero. So whatever we emit, we are in a position to balance it out. So the targets are different. The number one, the people in USA, or the USA is trying to have achieved this in 2040, and they are expecting that every country should have the net zero 2040 or at the most 2050. But we have assured that we will achieve this by 2070. Yes, the reason is we are a developing country and we have our own challenges, and we have to face that. But yes, we are in synchronized with what the other countries are planning for. So in this net zero emission, we have to reduce the use of fossil fuel. We have to reduce other emissions which are causing the damage. I remember my 30 years back days when I started my journey in a power plant. That power plant was a fossil fuel or coal-based power plant. And in those days, the talk about the solar, which I am going to move in short time, it was very, very, means less than 1%. The thing which I am going to share is we are evolving. If you go to earlier days, means before that, our country, we were moving in a bullock cart and all that. Then we shifted to motors, railways and all that. So the moment we shifted to these type of things, of course, we shifted to these things because those were necessary. As a part of our life, we thought that these things are necessary, so we developed that. And as we started using all these things, the emissions are there, and that is the reason today we are talking about the net zero and all that, because we have started a shift and now we are going more and more to that part. Even on the other hand, we know that this carbon dioxide, the trees are the one which are beneficial for the carbon dioxide. So we are also reducing the trees in our country. So that is another thing which we have to look back. But whatever the developments we have achieved, and what I was sharing, that I was in a power plant where we used to consume coal, and then we used to generate electricity, and that electricity distributed through network to our houses and industry. The thought process is, at that time, you have to take the coal from a coal mine. Before that, you have to look for the coal mine where the coal stocks are there. You have to extract, and that extract is a dust, and that is also causing harm to the environment. Then you have to take that coal by railways or any means to the power plant. Somewhere this distance is 400 and 500 kilometers. And then you have to, that coal which you unload at power plant, you have to break it into a small particles, and then that coal is used in a boiler. In a boiler, we used to generate a steam, and that steam is used to generate an electricity. This electricity now you have to take it at a higher voltage level. At a high voltage, you have to transmit it from one place to another. Then you have to step down at your cities or wherever it is needed. Then you have to again step it down, and then you have to give it to your homes and all these things. And after that, what we are doing is we are charging our mobile, which in fact required hardly 6 volt DC. And all this process was going on in those days. So now, why I explain all these things, getting electricity for a house or for a place, it was such a big thing. Why it is big thing? Now it is a small thing, because you can go to the market, you can have one solar panel. That solar panel can give you 6 volt or 12 volt of whatever requirement voltage you want, and you can charge your mobile in that. When the things were discussed about electronics and all that, I am from also graduate of electronics engineering somewhere in 90s. And this thought was always in my mind, that the electronic gadgets needs an input which is in millivolts or which is very less. And whatever the solar gives, that is also in millivolts. If they two marry, by Radhika's words, if they two have a romance, so that will be the better world for us. So that thought was with me since 90s, and then we started working in solar sector and all that. The basic purpose of mine explaining all these things is because we were in the evolving process. Whatever was available with us, we developed a system. And as we go on, and we could track out that, okay, this is the another option available, and if I go for that, then that will be beneficial. So there we are now, as if I believe. Whatever the electricity requirements which were based on fossil fuel, we have to do that, we were doing that, and all this process, the result is to get a 230 volt supply or 6 volt supply for our requirements. Okay, industry needs more, so that is the another part which we can discuss later on. But in our normal life, whatever the electricity we require, we are getting it through fossil fuel, and in a net zero or in all whatever efforts we are doing, our basic efforts are to reduce the use of all this, to reduce the dependence on all this. And here, solar is an option. If we talk about solar in 2002 or 2003, our honorable president at that time, Dr. Abdul Kalam, he had a thought that why not to make my president place solarized, so that I can reduce fossil fuel use or I can go for new technology. But unfortunately, we were not in a position to do that. But yes, in the last couple of years, means in a decade or more, we are in a position to solarize such type of buildings, and we can have this building independent of the fossil fuel electricity. So that change has happened, and we are glad, particularly I feel myself blessed, that whatever the changes that were happening in this country since 2002 or 2010 or now, I am one of the person who was involved in all these things and who witnessed all these things. So the thought which I would like to share is, we have changed, we are changing, and in that changing things, we have to look for net zero things, and solar is an option. Because whatever the solar, it was there some 20 years, the things have started moving in 2010, then from 2014 when this government comes in, and because of the special liking of our honorable Prime Minister, the things have changed. The people outside India are also interested in all our activities. Funding is a big thing. Whatever the achievement we want for net zero, when I say we were saying we will achieve it in 2070, the reason is whatever the expenses, whatever the funds we need in India, we don't have that time. We are not in a position to spare those funds right now or in due course. So to achieve all these things, solar is the thing. Another important thing which has happened in last 10 years is when we talk about solar, people say solar, oh, when there is a sun, then only the solar energy is of use. What about in the evening hours? What about in the night hours? So things have started moving on that, and I'm very happy to share two things. One, we have moved from normal illumination system to the LED based illumination, and you all are aware, if you are not aware, LED also require very less input, millivolt. Second thing is storage, whatever we generate in the daytime with the help of solar, and if we are not in a position to store that, then it is otherwise waste. So now the energy storage has gone up. We can store huge, why I am saying huge, because earlier the capacity to store was very less. Now it has enhanced to unbelievable things which we were thinking in 10 years back. So because of this, whatever solar facilities available, we can put sun to the work, we can generate electricity, we can store it into the batteries or storage system which we have, and we can use whenever we need it. The another change which has happened in last couple of years is we are moving from in the automobile industry, we are moving to electric vehicles. I think someone was saying that we are Zomato, I think. She was saying they have plans to achieve the whole electric vehicle logistics by 2030. So that is what we are thinking, we are aiming, and it is possible now. So these changes that has happened in last 10-15 years, and I believe that whatever the changes which may happen in next 10 years, I am not in a position to even believe that what will be after 10 years. But things are moving, we are really moving with a great speed. We are a young country, we are otherwise we were talented people. Before 2000, we have to go to US or the Western countries to use our talent, but now we are happy that our own people staying here or coming back from the Western countries, they have started many things, and many things will start. And the most important thing is, because of the social media and all these technologies, whatever I do here, I can take it to the world. And if when world can know that what I am in a position to do, definitely they will come to you, and that is happening. So things are really very nice. Net zero is, though I believe that we are thinking of 2070, but who knows, we can achieve it before that, and that is what we are doing. Last 1 minute I will take. In solar sector, 2015, we have targeted that we will have 175 gigawatt of solar installations. In last years, last 8-10 years, 100 was the target of solar, 175 was the renewable. So in last couple of years, whatever target we set, we have achieved 70%. So people says that, oh, you have achieved 70%, means you have failed. No. What we have set up, 100 was, means it was double of what we can achieve at that time, but we have achieved more than what was our capacity that time. So that is what we are doing. So when we are aiming something, it may be big, but they says that dream big, you can achieve that. Thank you.